like you, like someone like Michaela, who's in her not even 30 yet, or someone
Exactly.
who, yeah, or someone like Sherry, who's not even 50 yet. I interviewed Sherry, amazing woman. She them hygienist, mom, got kids, and to do this sport, like have responsibilities of not just of a spouse, but children. And so again, this is not a very lucrative sport, bodybuilding. Between the cost of your posing suits, like men, all guys got put on as a pair of banana hammocks and a pair of board shorts, and the other is tanning. But you ladies, you put everything in, like such as traveling, the cost of traveling, the cost of you know the food you have to eat. When you got to get a posing suit right there, that's almost in some cases, your a card note. And if this sport was more lucrative or mainstream, where which like I said, like this, Ivy just did the Texas Pro. She got $15,000.
Yeah,
Because Sherry Village put up that money. They're doing the master show. First place gets $10,000 in women's bodybuilding and the other divisions, while men gets $20,000. You know,
exactly.
like a friend told me, it's a hobby sport, but you love the sport, you enjoy it, you've been a fan, you've been in the sport for a long time. But do you ever feel like, what? Why am I doing it? Why I could have just the money I put into this thing, I could have do what I want to do, travel, do this, do that.
That's true. I mean, it's really a hobby, and it's a passion for me. It's a sport that, I mean, my love started at 15 for it, so I've embraced it all my life, and that's what I know. That's who I am, and so for me, I don't have the Louis Vuitton purses, and I don't have the jewelry. I'd rather spend it on a coach and on a posing suit, and getting on stage. I mean, that's just the choices we make. So that's the passion and the love behind it. It's really just it's a hobby.
It's good that you have that love and the passion because most people, most everyday John Q public wouldn't want to get up in the morning, go work out, do leg day, eating broccoli chicken all day, can't eat carbs, can't eat this, can't eat that. One thing, especially the carbs part. I know some ladies like we did Tampa. What was that thing that you had to eat that you were so happy you said, oh.
Well, it's always a Red Robin hamburger with the garlic fries and the sweet potato fries and the ketchup, all the ketchup you can have. So that's my go-to. Every prep afterwards, I have to have that Red Robin. I don't know why Red Robin, but it's like the best hamburger out there for me.
Well, like I said, we don't have rib. I don't think. I think the closest Rib Robin for us here in North Carolina, where I live at, is probably Fayetteville or Florence. I try and believe. Usually, for me, it's either Burger King or McDonald's. Or I think I tried. Like I said, I try to cut back on a lot of that stuff because I was. This is what everybody knows about me. I used to be because when I was taking care of my mom. My mom was sick for almost 6, 7 years. I was taking care of her, and I was almost after she passed away. I was almost 500 pounds. But then I started, now she's gone. I don't have nobody to take care of but myself. I got to take care of my family members tell me, George, you need to take care of yourself. So I started taking care of me. And right now I went to a doctor visit about last week. I'm at 388. And sometimes I might say I'm not gonna be perfect because this afternoon my nephew he needed to take us some stuff. He needed me to drive him to take us some stuff because he got his car got hit by a deer. He had right now he's trying to get the insurance people try to clear everything else, and he needed me driving to insurance people. We left after that. We stopped by McDonald's. I got myself a couple of sausage biscuits and a hash brown. He got himself a McGriddle. But yeah, that's the thing about the food is both, as you might say, it's both a friend and enemy as a bodybuilder. Don't you think?
Oh, of course, and I also love peanut butter. So that's the hardest. I could have peanut butter every day for every meal. So usually during prep, I try to either I hide it or I don't buy it, unless it's on my meal plan. But rarely is it on my meal plan.
What's your favorite, the plain or the crunchy?
Oh, the crunchy.
Oh my god, I love the crunchy. I think people like because it's a lot of nuts in it. Sorry, the perfect sage will be come out of two every now and then. Yeah, that's another character. But we got here a man. You know, Lawrence Perkins saying like, uh, I was 3 in '94. Well, I just got out of high school that year. We just moved up here to because I lived outside the country, out in the rural area. Where I'm from, Roland, it's pretty rural, but I lived more out in the country part of it. And my family moved here at town by the end of around about October. I've been living in the same spot for almost 30 years, and I was 19 when I moved up here. You know, but it's like I said, I live here with my mom, my brother, and my nephews, and my nieces, and my come in and out. But it was just me and my mom for a long time. She passed away. But it's just me now, and this is why I do this stuff because it gives me a purpose. To talk to ladies like yourself who put in your hard work in the sport, and you don't get a recognition. I know I got a friend of mine. His name is Coach Sherry Harrison. He does stuff from MMA. He told me, he said, George, what you like to do? I said, well, I'm a fan of women's bodybuilding. I'm a fan of bodybuilding because I grew up in about my older brother. He passed away about 20 years ago. My older brother James. He used to be a big football star here in our hometown. If you look over my left shoulder, actually, there's a picture of him. That's where his daughter, if you see it. Okay. He used to play football here in our hometown. You used to always get the muscle mags. And, I used to like to read the guy like Arnold and Lee Haney and them. But then, young women was something different, especially when I was coming up and getting to my teenage years. And, it's just something that kind of just changed my mind, I think our ladies are beautiful. I mean, like I said, you may not be the standard of what beauty is, the mindset of every person, but you are beautiful women. You work hard, you put in time to your sport, and you deserve a little more out of it. Like she sent me some pictures, and this one picture I really liked, and I gotta share it with y'all.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's her and my favorite, the former fiance of the 8-time Mr. Olympia, Mr. Everybody want to be bodybuilder, but the one who lifts heavyweight, Ronnie Coleman. You and Vicky Gates. I love Vicky Gates. She was just, and I know she's from Texas.
Vicky Gates, exact. I mean, she again, smart woman. She was just so fun to be around with. We worked out a couple of times. She worked out in Dallas at Metroflex and at Coit Gym. That's where I met her, and so we became instant friends. And Vicky is just class act. I mean, just a smart lady.
Mm-hmm. I remember she was dating Ronnie at the time, and they were both working. I think was it Dallas Police or Sheriff or something? I'm trying to remember.
Ronnie worked for Arlington Police. Yeah,
Arlington Police. And I know she was off. I think she was also with the same station because sometimes I remember there was a picture somewhere of them together in their uniforms. And they broke up a long time ago. But I think the one person to me that kind of resembles her is she lives also in Texas now. Is Mayla Ash.
Oh, Mayla Ash. Yeah, you're right.
I've been in contact with her on social media. Also, talk back for a couple. I love to get her. I mean, they just have that same look to them. I think it's the eyes.
It's the eyes. Yeah, I think
those light eyes. They just look like they could be. Because if you know history of slavery, a lot of us people were moved around a bit because you never know. But as a competitor, what would you feel like needs to be changed in bodybuilding in your mindset?
Today I think bodybuilding actually has shifted towards a good image. Back in the day, like when you were talking about Iris evolving bodybuilding to a point where women were losing interest, I think it's making a comeback. I think more women now, we see more women lifting weights now, free weights in a gym. You walk in a gym and as far as like my gym, probably 87% of my members are female, whereas in the past it was just me or someone else, and so now it's like it's accepted that women can be strong and have muscles. So I see a lot of what I like best about bodybuilding now is the camaraderie, is that women are all in it to empower each other. When we're backstage, I mean, we're introducing each other, we're getting to know each other. We see someone that we can relate to. Whereas in the past, it was like everybody was used to. It was sort of like they'd stay, close and tight. It was more competition versus camaraderie. And now I see camaraderie. And there was not a woman that I went up to at Tampa who didn't just, receive me with open arms and just, you're my iron sister. And so that's what has evolved now. And I really feel like it's shifted towards the better of the whole, bodybuilding era.
Yeah, I think that you see some, but still, there's still that competition mindset. If you want, especially social media, like I've seen stuff between, like if you see this recently between two a champion and a former champion, they go at each other about stuff, and that's in the other division. But I ain't gonna get too much about that. But yeah, I would say one thing I would like to see more is, especially when you hit this level as a pro. I think it should be because I keep saying this. You ladies are the product. You men and women, you're all the product. We come to see you compete. I think it should be a little bit more, incentive for you. Like we all know the prize money in the shows for especially women, it's not that
For
like
sure. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like Michaela walked away with $2,000 in the champ. Was it? I
Yeah.
remember Margie. She posted this like last year. How when Chelsea Dion won and it was $2,000. He said like, wait a minute, like 2 or 3 years ago it was $5,000. If you look at the last Olympias, where guys like Big Ramy and High Chopin walk away with nearly almost $500,000. Andrea gets 50 here. Natalia and Sarah gets 40 here. I know that this is the language that the men's division, truthfully, are the bottom bitches. If you know anything about pimping, the bottom bitch is always the one that makes the money for the pimp. But these women, I know they're gonna because it's about who comes to shows. That's what I'm learning. Who comes to shows? Sanction fees. Or like one example, as I talk about this, how one of my favorite actors, Arnold, Arnold is it's not a tumor. Arnold, how he kicked out with any kind of level of women's bodybuilding. First it was like back in 2013 we pushed out the true one of the secondary base titles for women's bodybuilding was Mr. National. Now it's a pro qualifier now. Then he just a couple of years ago just kicked out physique. Then last year kicked out figure. And I remember I was watching this like NPC News Online video because I'm on YouTube a lot. I'm watching videos, and it was backstage. And we talked about earlier how the line between the division, especially even if you look at the girls in figure and in fitness, that was it. You had the figure, you had the girls like you only had what you had figure, fitness, wellness, and bikini. Then you look at someone like Erica Deer, you look at Jessica Padillas Reyes, you look at Missy Trescott, and a couple of ladies, and you saying like you think to yourself, am I looking at figure and fitness, or I'm looking at physique? And then he decided to push out the division. It's just, so again, even the pro level, there's so few shows for, like regional qualification or national or pro qualification, national qualification for women's bodybuilding because they have a physique. But then some women say, I'm not a physique type. I might, I don't look, I'm more bodybuilding. Or someone say, it's just, what's your mindset of it?
Well, it's true. There's not enough incentive there for women bodybuilding. So, I think maybe that keeps someone from wanting to become a bodybuilder. That there's more opportunities for endorsement, marketing, even selling, like a fans army. There's just seems to be more opportunities when you're not, a female bodybuilder and that big. But I'm not sure what has to change. I mean, I think it's shifting towards, Andrea, like you said, she's sex appeal. I think she's drawing a lot more female bodybuilders into that, and maybe we should see a change come soon.
Hmm. Yeah, because I know one girl who competed at the Tampa with you. She's like, I think she's in her 20s. That's what's Taylor Aragi. And Taylor just turned pro. Was it maybe a week or two before that show at the Miss International, which is now, like I said again, it's a pro qualifier. It was going to be two competitors. One lady who I interviewed named Hannah Hussein. She posted that show, but she backed out of it.